What's up everyone, Game Master 468 here, bringing you the final part of my Skylar and Plux walkthrough. Skylar has successfully rescued all of the Loa from CRT's tyranny. As you can see, they're all just hanging out on the island, they're just chilling, they're doing cool stuff like standing there, and this one's standing there while staring at this computer monitor. This one's standing here while looking at some boxes, but now he has to look at nothing because I smashed them, so he's just gotta deal with it. That's just what you gotta deal with now. So, yeah, we just saved all of the Loa, and we got all 3 of the fuses for the siphon, so that Skylar can get her memories back. But CRT showed up at the last minute afterwards, and, kinda weaponized the siphon against us. And now he's gonna use it to suck the planet dry, and use it for his evil purposes. And that is not cool. So we're gonna jump inside, head into CRT's spaceship, and we're gonna have the final showdown and put a stop to his evil plans. Nice poppin'.
Welcome back to my humble abode. Did you get homesick? Predictable. Don't know what to do without your deceitful friend, Bob, huh? Well...
Hey man, Bob was nice. You shut your mouth.
Well, see, this is why I'm going to win. I don't need friends. I don't need anyone. Once I've drained the siphon, even my father will fear me.
Oh.
He said I'd never amount to anything, Dad. Well, look at me now.
Skylar, this dude needs a hug.
Yeah, he's sounding a little cray-cray right now.
Civilization to Clover Island. Me, I'm an architect. You're nothing but a jumped-up furry thief and a little feathered rat.
Hey man, he's a pigeon, alright? Get it right. Get your species right, man.
Dad, I'll show everyone.
Okay, you need to chill. You need to chill, my dude.
Seriously, what are you on about?
Yeah, calm down.
See, plucky sidekick. You'll all see.
Okay, CRT sounds like he's completely lost it at this point, so I think that's a sign we need to hurry up and put a stop to him.
Finally found your way home, kitten. It's time for you to meet your maker.
Alright, let's go ahead and put a stop to this guy before he does something like really, really crazy, because he sounds like he's just completely lost it at this point. So, yeah, here we are in the TV room or something. I don't know what this room is. But here we are, going to the teleport pad. Yep, that's nice. Excellent. Alright, so before you jump up here, make sure you get your magnet glove ready, because you're going to be needing it for basically this entire fight that we're about to do. So when we... whoopsie daisy. Let's jump up here. And there he is. Alright, here we go. The first, final, and only boss fight against CRT himself. He's gonna start by swiping his hands across. You'll just want to jump over his hands when he swipes them across the ground like this. Here he goes. You can do a spin jump to get some extra distance if you need to. And then after he does 2 attacks, he's gonna shoot some missiles at you like that. What you want to do is you want to use your magnet glove, because something I didn't show in CRT's base is you can actually use the magnet glove to pick up the missiles that the turret guys shoot. So you can use that, pick them up, and then throw them back at CRT to stun him. Then you just want to go up to him and just start wailing on him like this. Alright, so after that first stun cycle, some new things are going to happen. One, you can see those platforms are going to get some, like, zappy, like, laser beam things on them. Oh, jeez. Calm down. Yeah, you see, like, it glows, like, little orange things around them, and then after a while they glow red. The red will hurt you. Once it starts hovering over the platform that you're on, just move to the other platform so that you don't get hit. And then you can also see he's doing another attack. He like ground pounds the floor and sends a shockwave down. You just want to jump over the shockwave, of course, when he does that. Pretty simple stuff. Alright, so when you go over here, I recommend you use the punch move. This is like the only instance in the entire game where the punch is actually more useful than the spin attack. The spin attack does less damage to him, and you won't be able to do a lot of damage to him before he gets unstunned if you use the spin attack only. So I recommend you use the punch instead, so you can do more damage during each stun cycle. So here we go, let's go over there. As you can see, we've begun phase 2 at this point. Now there's acid everywhere. So make sure you don't fall off the platform and get hit and stuff. Alright, and from here it's pretty straightforward. He's just gonna keep doing that, and he's also talking a lot. I've been talking over it this entire time to explain how the fight works. So sorry about that, but anyway, alright. Alright, we're getting close. I'd say one more hit ought to do it, and then he'll be done. Alright, he's gonna slam down. Oh, jeez. Boom! How's that for a dance? And there we go! And I got hit at the last second somehow. There we go. That's how you defeat CRT. It's a pigeon! We went over this! Get... What?
Wrong button. Can we pretend this didn't happen?
You gotta be kidding me! No evil robot overlord, Jazz? You're just... this?
I'm a Wamster.
A Wamster?
Stationed in its AI. Bob. And it's not even his real name. I just started calling him that. I used him and now he's gone. And CRT, that's just a big fat lie.
Why? Why would you do all this, man?
Because he's crazy?
I never asked to be the son of a dictator, to be cold-hearted and cruel. Things are expected of me.
Wait, back up. Who are you?
I
What?
am Tiberius Julius, the heir to the West.
Oh, his real name's Tiberius.
Whoa. So you're like a prince?
No more. This was my last chance.
Oh.
I've been nothing but a failure and a laughingstock for my entire life. And unless I conquered a planet, Father said I'd be exiled forever.
Wow, that's pretty rough. Look, I get how it feels to be left alone, but you do have a choice. You never have an excuse
Okay.
to be a complete butt and destroy other people's lives.
I needed to prove myself. I figured people fearing me would be better than people ridiculing me. But now, I'm all alone in this galaxy.
That's not true.
Oh no, he has no friends. Oh man, I guess we need to feel bad about him now. Also, Bob's alive!
And you're not alone, sir. You have friends all around you.
Really?
Of course, dude. But you have to promise to fix everything you mucked up down on Clover Island.
I guess. I mean, yes, definitely, of course.
I do hate to be the
If I have to, but I guess I'll do. I mean, yeah, I've learned my lesson. Yes, I will help you.
being separated from its moon.
Oh.
Pulling us into the atmosphere. What?
Uh-oh.
That's just great.
Oh dear, that's not good.
As this station wasn't designed for landing, expecting a hull break in.
Oh man, here we go, guys. We have the super epic climactic chase level to escape the space station.
6.
No, wait.
5.
Oh, and CRT's gonna help. Alright, so here we go. The epic final level to escape the... Oh, never mind. The cutscene's gonna do it for us. Never mind.
What year is it? Did I do good?
Impressive stunt, sir. Quite brave indeed.
Is it too late to pretend like I knew this was gonna happen from the start?
I think
Yes.
it is far too late, sir. But that was the raddest ride of my life, dude. You saved us.
I've got a warmish feeling in my chest. Is this what friendship feels like?
Yeah, dude. Sip it all in.
This is amazing. But what if my father finds out about all this?
Hey now, Let's
You're an
burn
all-star.
that bridge. Get to it. And that's how our hero was made. It all worked out pretty well in the end, didn't it? CRT finally let go of his shackles thanks to his new friends and could truly be himself. Plux learned that the world moves on with or without you, and that doing nothing ultimately achieves nothing. Skylar defined what she was told to be for what she wanted to be. And with all these cliches, it's only fitting to say that it seems like they all lived happily ever after.
Yeah, they lived happily ever after, with Plux's dad still missing, Skylar's memories still being left behind, and CRT just being forgiven for all of the horrible, horrible things he's done over the countless years. I'm not a fan of this ending. Okay, so that's the end of Skylar and Plux, as you can tell by the credits. So here's my post-walkthrough review, I guess. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this ending, and if you've seen like some of my other stuff, like my Equestria Girls review for example, you probably know how I feel about these types of endings, where the bad guy was evil because he was so lonely. Oh, he's so alone, so he's gotta torment everybody. But, oh, we feel bad for him now because he's all alone. We'll forgive you for killing us countless numbers of times. I hate that cliche so much. I hate it with a passion. It's dumb. You're not gonna you can't just... I'm all for, like, redeeming a villain and whatnot, but you gotta do it well, and this is not done well. It's literally just instant forgiveness. Oh, he was alone, so I guess that makes up for all the terrible things he's done. No, that's dumb and stupid, and I don't like it. It's a really dumb ending. I'm personally not a fan of it at all. Some other things, as I said before, like, most of my problems with this game are story-related problems. It feels like they wanted to tell a larger story than they were capable of being able to do, if that makes sense. Like, the thing with Plux's dad, that was built up like craziness. I'm gonna go to this so I can just run around and talk while I give my final thoughts here. Yeah, so the thing about Plux's dad was built up, like, big time. He keeps talking it up, and it's like, oh, what happened? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that he's either dead or not dead, and he's just missing somewhere. It's one of those things, like, let's be honest. But we don't know which one of those they are, because they just drop it. Like, completely. He makes such a big deal about his dad, and it's like, oh man, my dad will be back any day now. Oh, I wonder where he is. Oh, I'm sure he'll be back as soon as possible. And then, like, CRT teases him about it, and he's just instantly over it. Like, there was no arc to it or conclusion. It just kind of stops. You never find out what happens to his dad. Plux just kind of gets over it, just immediately. And it just ends in an overall anticlimactic way, which I do not like. And that happens with, like, basically every major plot point in this game. The plot twist where Bob is the mechanical arm that Skylar is wearing right now is just so casually dropped in, like it's no big deal, when I feel like originally it was supposed to be a much... Like, that feels like that should have been a much bigger deal than they made it out to be. But they just casually drop it in, like, oh yeah, he's just Bob. Duh. Didn't you know that? Like, it's just so casually dropped in, very strangely. And then, most importantly, so this whole quest to fix the siphon, to try and get Skylar's memories back, that wound up being pointless. Because Skylar still doesn't have her memories back. She never gets them back for the entire game, and that was the whole purpose for starting this adventure to begin with. That's what kickstarted this whole adventure, and it never gets resolved. She just never has her memories, like, for all eternity. And then I forget which one of these guys was talking about the Skylar's planet. That was like a major drop. It's not you. They're saying something about like Skylar's planet and how like something happened to him. Here it is. Alright. Is it true what they say would happen to your home planet? That sounds interesting. What's going on with her home planet? We never find out. Not all of these major plot points either end anticlimactically or never get resolved at all. It's really weird, and it makes me think like there was originally supposed to be a bigger story to this game, but then they realized they didn't have like the budget to actually pull it off, so they had to like cut down a lot of these plot points. But instead of like cutting them out or rewriting them, well, I guess they did rewrite them, but instead of like cutting them out, they instead like simplified them down like super basically. So instead you get like these really major like interesting sounding plot points that just have a very anticlimactic feel to them. It's really just strange, and I don't know what that's about. I feel like maybe they're like trying to set this up to be like a series, and they're possibly planning to go more into detail about this like in a later game, which I don't think is going to happen at this point, I'm going to be honest, because this game is like really obscure and I don't really see a lot of people talking about it. So I don't know if a sequel is going to happen, but I feel like that's like the only explanation that I can think of, though, is that they left a lot of these plot points like lingering and unanswered because they're planning on going into them more in later games at some point. That's the only thought that I can think of for that. But for the time being, like, at the time that this walkthrough is going up and the time that I'm recording this is the only game in this particular series. There's no Skylar Plux 2 or 3 or anything. So we literally only have this, and we have a series of plot points that are just there and don't get resolved, or just have an anticlimactic feel to them. It's kind of disappointing, because, like, I see, like, interesting stuff happening here, but they just don't do anything with it, and that's just really disappointing to me. But that's my biggest gripe with this game, I would say, is just how they handled the story in this game. And in terms of, like, gameplay, I don't have much problems with the gameplay, to be honest. I guess, like, the biggest thing is, like, it's a really short game. It's really short. Like, I've done multiple runs of this game, like, on my own time, and the fastest I've been able to beat it is, like, an hour and 10 minutes or so. It's a really short game. Now, I personally don't mind that myself. For me, like, if a game is fun, then the amount of time it takes to beat it doesn't matter to me. The length of the game doesn't matter to me in the slightest. If I'm having a good time and it's fun, then it's like, whatever. I don't care how long or short it is, as long as I'm having fun. So, but I know that game length is a big deal for some people. So, just keep that in mind, that this is a really short game. And then the only other problem I'd say I have with it, I mentioned the enemies at some points. The enemy design, I think, is like kind of frustrating, I guess you could call it. There's a lot of like frustratingly designed enemies in this game, particularly with the swarm bots, which I know it's in their name and this should be obvious, but the fact that there's like so many of these tiny enemies that swarm you everywhere, and you don't really have an effective way of like taking them all out at once most of the time without getting hit by some of them at some point. I don't know, they're just really frustrating enemies to deal with, and I don't like that. And when they're cluttered in with like all of the other enemies, like the turrets and the rocket missile shooting guys, it makes the enemies like in this game a bit annoying. So that's really about it, I'd say. I pretty much enjoyed everything else. The voice acting like is alright. I wasn't a big fan of it the first time I played it, but it kind of grew on me a bit. I thought the voice acting in this game is pretty alright, I'd say. And, the music is really great, too. I really enjoyed the soundtrack to this game, and I'm sad that no one has uploaded it yet. but the soundtrack in this game is really great. And there are weird graphical things here, too, like the water is kind of weird looking, but you can chalk that up to being, like, a small team. with a small budget and stuff. So I give them a pass on things like that. And yeah, I think that's it. I keep saying, oh, I think that's everything I have to say, and then I think of more things to say about it. But then other than that, I'd say that's about everything. Overall, I'd say this is a pretty good game, and if this looks interesting to you, it's on Steam, and it might be on consoles too. I think it's on PS4 and Xbox One as well. So if this game looks interesting to you, I'd say, yeah, definitely check it out. It's a really good game. A nice little short little indie 3D platformer game instead of the classic PS2 era platformers that you know and love. Pretty cool stuff. That's going to do it for my Skylar and Plux adventure on Clover Island walkthrough. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this walkthrough, why don't you subscribe or check out some of my other walkthroughs. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. See you later, everyone.